Hello and welcome to another video. Now, it's a bit of a strange one this. I was in the area filming other things and I thought, do you know what, I'm just going to have a nip down really and tell you a little bit about this. So where I am now, I'm in Wakefield. Now Wakefield to me in my life has really only ever been about rooftop gardens, Casanovas. When I used to run raves and things, we had a club night there, and that's it really. I know it's now a city in Yorkshire. It's near Leeds, which is where I've just been. So I thought I'd come down here, and on my drive down, I've driven down various residential areas, gone over the usual potholes, past the usual takeaways, and I'm pretty much in the city centre really, give or take. Very close to a pub which is just behind me. Very close to where people live. They live their everyday lives, getting on with it, not hurting anybody. So I pulled into a side street. I've managed to get an hour's parking, so that's really good. Double yellows everywhere else. And I'm going to show you where I've come. So basically, I don't know how close I can get actually. This is Monster Mansion, as it's nicknamed, because it houses the most dangerous, heinous, despicable criminals in the country. So pretty much any awful crime that you've read about, the worst of the worst, chances are that person who was incarcerated has been behind those walls at some point. So HMP Wakefield, West Yorkshire, Category A. It was opened in 1594 and a lot of the buildings are Victorian. In the First World War it was a home office work camp actually, and it used to house conscientious objectors as well, until they stood their ground and refused to work in 1918, which created the Wakefield Manifesto, something to look up. Also as well, in the mid-70s it did house IRA prisoners as well, leading to one of them going on hunger strike and dying. And then Merlin Rees, the Secretary of State for Northern Ireland, he then said that IRA prisoners will no longer get special category status, which led to the hunger strikes that we all know about, with Bobby Sands being the most famous, I would imagine, passing away for his beliefs. What the category status meant, essentially, if you don't know, is that they would be treated like any other prisoner, like a criminal, rather than soldiers, for want of a better term, fighting for a cause. So that is it. That's what it looks like. That's what a Category A prison looks like. Obviously I can't go too close, but that is Monster Mansion, and I can't emphasise enough how near it is. I mean, look, I don't know if you can see there's like a main thoroughfare road there, and you've got all your usual things that you'd imagine in any city centre, car garages. I've just been past an Asda and so on, literally on the cusp of the city centre. And what's that? 100 yards, 150 yards from everyday life. Turn the camera around. 600 to 700 of the worst criminals are just behind those walls. I find it quite astounding actually. At a cost of, let's say, they're in for 30 years. They've done a life tariff, maybe longer, and it's costing what, 40 grand? It's 1.2 million quid, taxpayers' money. So when you're doing your overtime and you're getting taxed that little bit more, that's where some of your tax is going to house these people. Now, I did have a friend that worked in a high category prison as a prison officer, and he said it was the biggest challenge for him really was that he'd only read all the stories in the media and things, and he'd gone into this prison where some of these so-called notorious people were, and then the hardest thing to get used to for him was that adapting to their everyday life and just having normal conversations with these people who he'd read about. I mean, he could hardly sort of go in every morning and cower, and you know how we'd probably react if we came face to face, or be very angry, or with whatever emotion we would show. But anyway, I'm going to finish it now. That was Monster Mansion, Category A prison in Wakefield.